I really want to thank everybody for Zooming in for this important and exciting announcement. And I will be kicking it off for the first 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to watch a 5-minute video, followed by comments from our board president, Tom McCrory. And finally, there will be a time for you to make comments or ask questions. Okay. So on my first camping journey and first vision quest in 2014, I bought a bracelet at Yosemite National Park. Engraved on the bracelet are these perhaps most famous words of naturalist and preservationist John Muir. "The mountains are calling, and I must go." I went into that vision quest in 2014 with the intention of catching Spirit's vision of whether it was time for me to retire. After all, I had just turned 65 and had been minister of Unity Santa Fe for 20 years. Divine guidance was clearly spoken through the words of a young Wiccan woman on the vision quest. She said, "In my tradition, at 65, you have so much wisdom to share. It would be a shame for you to retire." During my 4 days and nights solo in the wilderness, the additional guidance I received was, "Now is not the time. You will know when it's time." So I've been sitting in the question of when will I retire for at least 6 years. And each year since my mid-50s, I have said to my financial advisor, "Let's look ahead to when I'm 60. Then when that time arrived, let's look ahead to age 62. Then at 62, when I'm 65. When I'm 65, oh no. Then at 65, when I'm 70. Then at 70, let's look ahead to when I'm 72. So I'm now 71, and on December 1st, I will have been blessed to serve as senior minister of Unity Santa Fe for 26 years. And during my most recent sabbatical camping in the Zuni Mountains, I was again sitting in the question. On Tuesday, September 15th, someone said I would have my answer within 24 hours. That night, I had a dream. In the dream, I was talking to my ex-husband's next ex-wife. Only in the dream, they were still together. I was adamant in saying to her, "It's time for you and Ken to retire. You are financially able to retire, so why not enjoy the rest of your life free of career responsibilities and obligations?" Then Ken appeared in the dream, and I was adamant and also saying to him, "It's time for you to retire. You have your whole life ahead of you. No more excuses. It's time to retire now." For those of you familiar with Jungian dream work, you know that we never dream about other people. Rather, we dream about what the people in our dream represent in us. The message was clear. I was saying to myself, it's time for you to retire. You are financially able to support yourself without a job. It's time for you to enjoy the rest of your life free of career responsibilities and obligations. You have your whole life ahead of you. No more excuses. It's time to retire now. So I recognize the Ken in me who, when I suggested we retire 30 years ago, was aghast. I recognize that part of him and me that was unwilling to even consider it. For many years, I said I would not retire until the building loan was paid. And we accomplished that milestone in June 2019. Since then, my reason for not retiring has been that I haven't felt guided to do so. I kind of thought I'd die in the pulpit, and I imagined doing so in the midst of the silence portion of the after message meditation, with all of you wondering when I was going to lead you out of the silence. Wow. That's my warped sense of humor. The hardest part in making this decision is you, our spiritual community. My love for and appreciation of all of you. My delight in serving in this role. And of course, our sacred building and grounds. I have received such joy shepherding this ministry alongside those of you here now and those who were here in the past. We built this ministry of our dreams, the building, the programs, the people, the sacred grounds. Together, we have raised consciousness, transformed lives, and healed the planet, one person at a time, beginning with me. An 1873 letter from John Muir to his sister contains the full sentence of his famous quote, "The mountains are calling and I must go, and I will work on while I can, studying incessantly." Those remaining words of Muir's statement are not as well known, yet they are equally compelling to me. And I will work on while I can, studying incessantly the spiritual truth that continuously raises my consciousness, transforms my life, and supports me in doing my part to heal the planet. In an essay in Adventure Journal, the curator of John Muir's papers, Michael Wirtz, wrote of Muir's statement, "These words reveal a man who saw responsibility and purpose as well as pleasure in the mountains. Muir was a master observer who enjoyed the constant work of understanding nature." I want to be seen as a woman who sees responsibility and purpose as well as pleasure in the spiritual journey. I want to be seen as a master observer who enjoys the constant work of spiritual understanding and growth. While I will be retiring from Unity Santa Fe, I will not be retiring from my spiritual journey or from supporting others to be all they can be. Rather, I'll be sitting in the question and opening myself to all possibilities, using my credentials as an ordained Unity minister, a spiritual director, a heart math coach, a whole plant foods lifestyle coach, a unified mindfulness meditation coach, and a licensed professional counselor. I see myself consulting with Unity Ministries, mentoring ministerial candidates, teaching, counseling, and coaching individuals and groups. While the board and I haven't set a specific date, we are planning on me retiring sometime in the fall of 2021. I celebrate that the consciousness of you individually and as a community is right now attracting the right and perfect minister who will take Unity Santa Fe to the next level. And I celebrate that you are building in consciousness the minister of your dreams. And because you are building it in consciousness, it is bound to manifest accordingly. Our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, wrote, "We shall serve for the joy of serving. Prosperity shall flow to us and through us in unending streams of plenty. Thank you for the honor and privilege of serving for the joy of serving as Senior Minister of Unity Santa Fe. This has indeed been an experience of prosperity flowing to me and through me in unending streams of plenty." And now, before I turn it over to Tom, I want to share a YouTube. And here we go.
You've just heard your ministers leaving. People around you may have the same feelings that you have, or may have very different ones. Some of you may have conflicting emotions, happy for the minister, but sad for yourself. Flight or fight. Some of you may want to just fly right out of here. Others may feel angry or maybe abandoned. Some may feel worried. What's going to happen to our ministry? While others embrace change and are ready for something new. Pause and take a deep breath. All of these emotions are okay. It is part of our human experience. So be gentle with yourself and each other. So what is yours to do? First, acknowledge your feelings. Relax and remember who you are. hold the space with prayer and meditation. Support each other and your leadership team. And most of all, trust. Relax and remember the divine being of light that you are. This I am. As the divine being who you are and what you have are more than enough to meet any challenge. Remember to spend time in prayer and meditation. We know the power of prayer and meditation. It's the best way to support the ministry, each other, and the leadership team. Trust in spirit, in yourselves, and in your leadership team. They have already contacted Unity Worldwide Ministries and are working together to plan the next steps for the highest and best for this ministry. So listen to the wisdom of the heart, express gratitude, laugh often, love lavishly, and pray always. Many blessings from Unity Worldwide Ministries Member Services.
So now, our board president, Tom McCrory.
Yes, good evening, everybody. If you can hear me, please wave so I know that it's happening. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, well, first of all, folks, this is big news, and it's quite likely that it's generating big feelings for most of you. So let me respectfully suggest that each of us start by acknowledging and honoring our feelings about this, no matter what those feelings might be. Now, second, I know that we all want to acknowledge Reverend Brendolyn for her labor of love in what amounts to essentially revitalizing this church, nurturing it for more than a quarter of a century, and giving it and us her full love and devotion. And we are just truly blessed beyond measure for all she has done and continues to do. Now, as Reverend Brendolyn mentioned, she told the board about this when she returned from her sabbatical in late September, and I don't mind sharing with all of you that the first thought that crossed my mind was to say, okay, that's it, you're never going on sabbatical again, which turns out to be true, just not in the way I'd intended it. So there's that. And also, Brendolyn, a special personal thank you for not dying during silent meditation. That would have just really harshed the mellow of the whole service. So now, seriously though, folks, upon Brendolyn telling us about this, your board of trustees reached out to Unity Worldwide headquarters at Unity Village. Turns out they have an entire group which specializes in advising and guiding churches at times like this. We've already had a couple of very helpful conversations with our wonderful minister, Reverend Kerry Kenyon, who's a trained specialist and who advises Unity churches on a regular basis when this happens, as it does with all churches, sooner or later. In addition, by giving us this much time to plan and prepare, Reverend Brendolyn has blessed us again by enabling us to embark on this transition in a considered and well thought out manner. And that's just a wonderful gift, and we'll use it to the full. The board is in the process of developing a plan to make this transition a positive experience for everyone involved, and most importantly, you all, the members of the congregation. And a big part of that plan is going to be input from you. In the coming months, we'll be asking all of you for your thoughts on a variety of matters related to this, especially the qualities we're looking for in a new minister. And in addition, we have or are about to have 2 openings on the Board of Trustees not related to Brendolyn's retirement that we really need to fill as quickly as possible. And so let me just remind everybody, this coming Saturday, November 14th, 1 p.m., we're having a Unity Santa Fe Board Partnership Forum Zoom meeting. This will describe the functions and duties of the various board members. I sure hope you'll be able to be with us. And I affirm that the perfect people will be moved to join the board at this really important time in the life of the church. Finally, most importantly, I acknowledge the presence of that God who is with us always, no matter what. I know the same God who brought Brendel in here all those years ago is now right in the midst of this process, working for good and blessing everyone concerned. I release this to its perfect outworking in the life of each and every one of us, and I say, thank you, God. And so it is. So with that, Brendelyn, I think we can open it up for questions. And I will mention one other thing. That video we just saw, which is wonderful, over the next several days, we'll be setting up an additional tab, or whatever you want to call it, on the Unity homepage regarding this impending transition. We'll put the video there, and we'll be putting announcements there so that people are able to just click on that and keep up with what's going on.